Hello, welcome to Morning Call for Monday, the 28th of January 2019. And my camera is a bit crooked, so I have to fix it. Good morning, how are you doing? It's a bit of a crazy day for me. It's a crazy morning, just lots to do. This is why I'm also that late. It's just lots going on, and I had to make this new look fit for the show as well this morning, so it took me a while. I'm sorry I'm a bit late, but let's get into the tech news for today. I tend to talk about the weather at the beginning of the show, but nothing much has changed. It's a bit warmer now. It's no snow anymore, but now it's rain, so everything's gray. Winter in Hamburg. 7 of 9 says, "Oh dear, I'm gone 1 week and you went full streamer with the overlays and everything." Yeah, I kind of wanted an overlay, and then I had one, like finished one, like one you can just use, and a generic one, and I didn't like that, so I made an Alcaz one. We went full streamer. Anyway, let's get into the tech news of the day or the week ish. Everything since Friday, stuff that'll be interesting to you today. Not that much. Been a pretty slow news weekend, but I tried to. There's one big story, got that, and then dug out some stuff, some gaming stuff to fill you in, because who doesn't like video games? So let's get into the big story. You will have heard this. There have been rumors, or it has been kind of leaked, that Facebook wants to integrate Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and WhatsApp, which, some people panicking about. I mean, this was kind of, you could see this coming. I really, once again, like the Register, they have a really, really good analysis of this. It's very sarcastic. Could have been written by me. It has that much sarcasm levels. So they're saying when, the founders of Instagram and WhatsApp both left, that was kind of the sign that this was going to happen. And apparently Zuckerberg himself, Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, has decided this, and he's given his tech teams a year to make it happen. And it's kind of a no-brainer from Facebook's point of view to get all three apps on one platform, because they can then fire a lot of developers, and they just need one team. There will be a huge backlash. I don't know how. I personally, WhatsApp and messengers are messengers, right? And Facebook and Instagram are social networks. Now, if you put that all together, I guess they want to still keep a Facebook app, but they kind of want to put that together. And I don't know how that is going to work. It's going to change the interface for everybody. Everybody will hate it. The people that are now using WhatsApp and know that it belongs to Facebook, but are kind of ignoring that and, believing the stuff Facebook said, we won't tie it in. They won't be happy with that. And I think the biggest problem will be
energy field
WhatsApp.
Strength increasing.
Ooh, 7
Let's
of 9
see how
with
this
the
works.
first tip. Hey, thank you. Amazing. Thanks for that. I mean, you threw me off. You completely threw me off. That was probably the goal of this, but it worked. I mean, the big problem will be that WhatsApp was kind of a decent. I mean, I wouldn't call it crypto messenger, but it has good end-to-end encryption. Maximalen Spike. I want to see if that thing actually worked. Yes, it should work. I tested all this on the weekend with the stream. Should work. Anyway, I hope the sound came through. That's still I'm still working with that. Sound engineering is hard. So WhatsApp was not really. It had good encryption. I wouldn't call it a crypto messenger because it never was. They just built that in. But it was good. It was good enough, and it was good for lots of people. Now the problem is that they say they want to have end-to-end encryption in all three apps, but I don't. I mean, I can see how it would work with Messenger, but still, that's completely tied in with Facebook, and that from that point of view it leaks lots of metadata. Instagram is a public, public. It's like it's a social network. It's not a messenger. They could implement end-to-end encryption for the private messages, I guess, but still, it's all like, I don't know. Then if you want to use a messenger that's encrypted, you really want everything in that app to be encrypted so that you don't by accident leak information over different channels. It's just, yeah. ASCII says, but they will all stay with WhatsApp no matter what Facebook does. I am not so sure about that anymore. I was always very sure. I mean, they will have a lot of users for a very long time. Because it's just everybody uses it. It just has a huge momentum behind it. But things like that go away. I mean, you remember MySpace? MySpace used to have the momentum behind it. They go away for different reasons. Maybe the users migrate away. Flickr, everybody used to use Flickr. It used to have like all the users. Everybody said nobody will ever leave that, and then it just got shut down and everything. I mean, it's things like that happen. I'm sure something else will come along. I'm pretty sure it will happen at some point, just because younger people just use different apps, and they're not. Yeah, they might use WhatsApp to talk to their parents, but it's not the app they use. And the more they grow up, and the more of those young people come around, then it'll just be just different apps. 709 says, but MySpace wasn't tied into everyday life of pretty much everyone like WhatsApp is now. Well, that just didn't exist back then like that. People migrate between apps. It's just the momentum, and momentum can also go away. I think WhatsApp won't have all the users forever. Maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, but well, WhatsApp has become an infrastructure for organizing stuff. I don't see how that can go away. That's the problem. I don't know. Yes, you could argue it's a bit like email, but the thing with email is that it not one person owns that. There are already huge problems with using WhatsApp to organize stuff. If you're in a company, you legally can't in Europe at the moment. You would need a second phone. Nobody's doing that at the moment, and it's getting ignored as a problem. But that doesn't mean the problem isn't there, and it isn't legally a problem. The problem with this is that it's tied into one company, and that company could make huge mistakes. It already has made huge mistakes, and people are wary of Facebook. They're just I can see this. I mean, I can see lots of Instagrammers leaving Instagram. Facebook Messenger, I don't know how that is adopted actually. I guess people use it to chat when they're on Facebook anyway. But I think your points are right. I want you to be right on this, Fabs a 709. Oh god, that means it's not gonna happen. I don't know. I think you're right with WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the big app here. WhatsApp is the one that people are least likely to leave because everybody's tied into that. I think people use their Facebook to organize their lives as well. But I think actually people are less tied into Facebook. Something there could come along. It's just for the family connections that could as well just shift to a messenger. You just basically need a messenger where people can create like groups, like basically what people used to do with websites, and that was too complicated. Anyway, I think this is a story that will be interesting to everybody. Throughout the week, there will be lots of analysis, lots of people be talking about this for months to come, and we'll definitely keep an eye on this. There's still lots of happening on this. Microsoft. Let's go to the next story. Microsoft has acquired a company called Citrus Data, and they are a specialist for PostgreSQL, but also like MySQL, MariaDB. They do like extensions for these databases that are supposed to make them as quick as NoSQL, like, document-based databases. And this is interesting. Microsoft obviously going, doubling down on their open source stuff. They actually mention Linux and open source in this. I mean, PostgreSQL, Postgres, pretty much the database you would use if you don't use one from Microsoft or, Oracle. I mean, that's, MySQL. I mean, the big corporate Oracle proprietary databases. It's interesting. I mean, this you see Microsoft more and more just migrating stuff into Azure, like Linux and other open source stuff. Basically, I think they have recognized that they can't fight open source anymore. They can't. Still trying to fight the GPL, but like they can't fight open source software. And their new thing is just having that run on their platform, like having just. They don't mind about Linux as long as it runs on Windows in the cloud on their platform. And as Crickle says, cool logo, a drunk elephant. It is a cool logo. It's like an elephant with a unicorn horn, and it is drunk. Yeah, I guess the elephant comes from Postgres. Don't know where the drunk part comes from, but I can. I think that's cool. Speaking of Microsoft, I was reporting on Friday that Microsoft are having problems with their domain controllers in the cloud. And after I reported on that, there was also the news that Exchange was down. Like this was Office 365, and that also like their Exchange in the cloud. A drunk unicorn elephant. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It has apparently eaten the Debian logo. Well, maybe. I have to go back, look at this now. It does look like it has eaten the Debian logo. Maybe that's why it's drunk, drunk on power. All the open source craziness. I don't know. Anyway, so we had outages in Office 365, Microsoft Cloud to do with domain controllers, and then with Exchange. Now we have the story that a researcher has, Dirk-Jan Mollema. He's from Fox IT in the Netherlands, a security company. He has announced that he has found 0-day with exploits available for Microsoft Exchange that apparently lets you go get admin on the domain controller. You just need to be an email user. You need to have a mailbox. It's hard to understand how this works. I'm not a specialist in Windows permissions. It is some kind of you can basically get hashes, like password hashes of logins, of passwords, and then use those to just attack the domain controller. And this works over LDAP, but also NTLM. Very interesting. I find it very interesting that this comes out now when we had those Office 365 outage news. I wonder if there were attacks running and Microsoft didn't realize it at first. Maybe this leaked. I mean, if he just announced this, then I think the story is from, what is that, Saturday? No, it's actually, the story is from Friday. So maybe he's just announced that after the attacks started happening. It's interesting. I'm just looking on his blog post if it says when that was published. January 21st. So that was, have a look at the calendar here. That was last Monday. So maybe people were attacking. Maybe Microsoft hadn't patched their stuff. Very interesting story. I keep my eye on that, and I'll see if it comes out how that all hangs together. If it hangs together, I'll let you know. And that's pretty much it for the hard tech news. We then have some video game news because I like video games. If you are interested in PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, there is a light version being tested right now that is supposed to run on older computers, has lower graphics requirements, looks a bit worse, and is going to be free. So I'm thinking it has its own team, and they will have they implement their own features. Right now it only has the first PUBG map, Erangel. It's supposed to also get other maps later, and this being free makes me think this is PUBG Corp or Bluehole, their attempt at getting at Fortnite, which has a lot less graphics requirements than PUBG, is free and is massively more popular. Took the crown of the most played game from PUBG last year, and now PUBG is struggling to keep up. And this looks like part of it. But if you have an older computer, if you ever wanted to play PUBG, this might be something you might want to try out. It's currently just being beta tested, I think, in Thailand. Yeah, it looks like it's geared at the Asian market as well. Then we have, oh god, this story. This story would be hilarious if it wasn't so sad. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm sorry, the bloody names. They're all named the same thing. Good morning, Maloki. Hey, nice to see you. Yes, video game controversy now. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a game that is set in ancient Greek, and there are two protagonists, a male and a female one. You can choose which one you want to play, and then you can have, kind of like in BioWare games, you can have, romances, and pretty much you can have sex, I think. And it's like you can have, if you play the male protagonist, you can have sex with both sexes in romances in both cases. I'm not here. I'm studying. Okay, I didn't say anything. We won't tell anybody, Maloki. Don't want to tell anybody. Yeah. So now they have a DLC, and so the story is okay. So this is how Ubisoft says they were going to do this. So they were going to have this DLC where apparently at the end, no matter which of the male or the female character you play, they have a child at the end. We're talking about how this symbolizes how all the stuff they sacrificed during the story, and they wanted to keep the legacy going on because Assassin's Creed and their story over. It's a story about like these assassins, and they're like all related, and there's genetic memory. I've never played these games because these stories are horrible, but now there's a controversy because LGBTQ whatever rights activists have said, well, this is horrible. This is actually, I think they said this is doing damage to the. This game had said, it was so good that you could play either they had male and female protagonists, and then you can have gay sex and whatever. Great. But now they're saying, well, this DLC is horrible. It's damaging all that, and you're thinking like, what? Like, what's your problem here? If they want to write a story where the protagonist has a child, they'll have to have sex with the opposite gender. That is how biology works. Have you been to school? That's how it works. And I mean, if you don't like it, don't play the DLC. You know, you have to. You don't need to play these games. I don't play these games because the stories are crap. Assassin's Creed is crap. It's like you're like this assassin in the olden times, and then bam, you're like in the Ubisoft headquarters, and you're in modern times, and it's like genetic memory, and you're like, what the fuck? This makes no sense. Yeah, just don't. If you don't like that, don't play that. But like, don't say it's like damaging. I mean, what is like is teaching kids is biology in school is that damaging? I mean, I understand the frustration. You know, you play a character in a video game, and you let's say I play like a male character, and I've decided this character is gay, and I like role playing, so I'll just have gay sex, and in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it's a great fit because it's ancient Greece, right? And they had that shit all the time, and I mean I can understand the frustration if they then the story makes your character do things that you don't want to do, but just don't play that. Stop playing then. That's what I do. I don't get it. 7 of 9 trying to distract me from the rant. He says, slight tangent, why is it called downloadable content when it's really purchasable content? Why would that be? Because purchasable content sounds crap. Yeah, why is it download? I mean, how would you get that content? I think back in the day you got the game on the disc, right? And then you had downloadable content later. But these days, I don't know. It should really be called rip-off content or something. ROP. I don't know. Yeah, let's move on from that. I do have some happy video game news to round this out, so I don't end on this rant. Dirt Rally 2 is coming out, and Golem has looked at this. Michael Wieczorek, writing for Golem, nice guy by the way. Really like the stuff he's writing for them. ROP is excellent. Yeah, it's like reverse-oriented programming, or PLC. Yeah, PLC, like the company thing. That would be good. Yeah, Dirt Rally 2 is coming out, I think, what did they say? 26th of February, but without snow tracks, which is a bit bad because we have winter, but they're going to add tracks later. I think I don't know if it's going to be early access, but they say no, it's probably not. They'll have that as DLC, as ROP. I don't know if you will purchase that though. I don't know. Dirt Rally 1, great game. Love that game. It's my favorite racing game of all time. I think it is. I have to say that, and that includes Mario Kart. Dirt Rally is amazing, and they had this thing where it was like early access, and then afterwards they added lots of stuff free. I don't know if they're gonna do this with this, but if they don't, I'm happy to pay for rip-off content for this game because it's not going to be a rip-off. The important thing is they're going to make this harder. It's going to be harder. It's going to be harder, faster, louder. Wacken. Wacken Rally. That's great. I mean, the first Dirt Rally, if you turn everything on, like I can't finish the course. Like it's that game's so realistic. It's like amazing. If you actually drive like a modern rally car and then you try to drive fast along like one of those tracks in Greece there downhill on the gravel, it's amazing. And this one's gonna be this is gonna simulate, for example, something that you have in actual rallying, where you're I'm actually let's look at this. Look at the video for a bit. It's like have like that thing in actual rallying where if somebody drives before you on the track, obviously they'll degrade the track. There'll be like tire tracks and like you know I can't the grooves in the gravel and whatever, or in the dirt, and it's gonna get harder. And that's the thing they're gonna simulate. And I mean, look at this. This is oh my. No, this is a guy. I want to see the game. Okay, they have weather. I mean, these tracks are so good. I mean, Dirt Rally, the first game was already so good, and I had thought they were gonna stop do this, Codemasters, because they always have like these more mass market racing games, and they must make more money, because I mean Dirt Rally is just so hard, and it's so hardcore. But obviously they haven't stopped, and they keep doing it, and this is going to be better than the first one. I can't wait. I think after the show I'm going to ask them if I can get like a access key, because I really want to look at that game as well. Anyway, will it get a gay sex DLC? I don't. I would not advise having sex in a rally car. At least not while you're driving. I mean, even like a little bit of roadhead. If you're distracted for 1 second in that game, it's over. It's literally. I mean, I'm driving. I'm playing like Dirt Rally, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm completely concentrated. And my wife comes in and asks me something. It's over. It's like I'm going off the road. You're dead. But you know, if they have sex, I'm all for having a gay sex DLC. Anyway, I hope you have a nice Monday. This show has been long enough. I'm gonna stop here. You got a wife, yeah. I sometimes I don't believe that myself. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day, and yeah, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow for more tech news. Until then, goodbye.